If the NBA wanted to close this, nobody would blame them. Nobody would blame them if they wanted to shut this league down. I mean, what other league operates for 27 years in a loss?
I really appreciate all of you, but it will be nice to kind of get away and relax for a little bit.
We all knew there had to be more to the story of Caitlyn Clark being rumored to leave for Europe, and ESPN just dropped the bombshell we weren't expecting. The future of the league itself is on the line.
The WNBA is set to lose $40 million this season.
Her WNBA season has come and gone. It seemed to be like a fantastic deal.
Known for her game-changing skills, deep shooting range, and fiery competitiveness, she quickly became the face of the WNBA. But with rumors swirling that she might head to Europe for more lucrative opportunities, ESPN recently dropped a bombshell report detailing just how vital Clark has been to the league's economic growth, and why the WNBA's future might depend on her return from overseas.
NBA investors are actually starting to get irritated. It's about time.
Since Caitlyn Clark has arrived on the scene, record ratings, record revenue, everything that you can think, record attendance, everything. They've never had it before.
Let her cook. Y'all stop being petty. Stop being catty, because she like a double-edged sword. She couldn't tell left and right, and it's bothering y'all, and I see it. Let's go, Caitlyn.
Today, we're exploring ESPN's findings and why Caitlyn Clark's return to the WNBA could be make or break for the league. From her college days at Iowa to her rookie season in the WNBA with the Indiana Fever, Caitlyn Clark has been an economic powerhouse.
It's going to be nice, though, I think, getting out of the spotlight and just getting to live my life and do things that I want to do, and, not have to sit. And I love talking to all of you, but it's going to be nice to not have to sit in front of a microphone.
ESPN's recent report lays out the numbers, revealing just how much Clark has boosted WNBA ticket sales, merchandise revenue, and television ratings.
WNBA, as we all know, is wrapping up this remarkable season of growth and interest, and it comes off the heels of what Caitlyn Clark helped achieve. Its remarkable ratings, the women's tournament outrating them.
Over 200% viewership increase since Caitlyn Clark has come in.
Her presence on the court is more than just exciting, it's profitable. In 2024, when Clark made her WNBA debut, the league saw a 45% increase in average attendance for games featuring the Indiana Fever compared to the previous season. Clark's games alone accounted for nearly $15 million in ticket revenue, merchandise sales, and concessions.
Your only argument for Caitlyn is that it would have been a great marketing opportunity, and you don't have basketball experience or chemistry with the group listed in your reasoning. I don't want to hear it.
Numbers are still really high, and they're still really meaningful, and they still show and tell a story of the viewership that is being gained in the WNBA. And yet some people continue to flip that. Those people, I've seen Stephen A. Smith talk about it. I've seen Shannon Sharp talk about it.
This figure dwarfs what other rookies have managed in recent years and makes her one of the most profitable players in the WNBA. According to ESPN's bombshell report, Clark's economic impact is not limited to just ticket sales.
Did you hear that last night? Did you feel the earth shaking? Did you hear the masculine screams of terror? Did you see the overwhelming sense of panic on social media as people were realizing that they were now getting exactly what they wanted?
Her games have also been among the most watched WNBA broadcasts.
It almost felt like the WNBA wasn't ready for what Caitlyn Clark was going to bring with her. And that meant you were going to have people not familiar with the WNBA.
Viewership for Fever games increased by a staggering 60% in 2024, making them some of the highest-rated games of the season.
It felt like they were zeroing in on our little Caitlyn Clark, and she's getting roughed up. Was she? Yes. But that's the physicality of this. She's a wonderful player. She brought a lot of eyeballs, and because of that, she brought a lot of opinions. It's almost be careful what you ask for.
In fact, Clark's WNBA debut drew over 2.5 million viewers, making it the most watched regular season game in nearly 2 decades.
Just minutes after Clark was picked, stores rolled out Caitlyn Clark Indiana Fever jerseys and t-shirts. We caught it all on video.
The Caitlyn Clark effect also extends to merchandise sales. The Fever's team store reported a 300% increase in sales, with Clark's jerseys, t-shirts, and other merchandise leading the way.
Everyone asked about her and asking about like jerseys.
Across the league, Caitlyn Clark merchandise became the top seller, outselling even seasoned stars like Aja Wilson and Brianna Stewart. This surge in merchandise sales has translated to a financial windfall for the WNBA.
The Caitlyn Clark hype is real, but a statistic that we saw on X is not. Longtime basketball writer Dick Weiss posted that more Caitlyn Clark Indiana Fever jerseys were sold in one day than the Cowboys sold last year for the entire team,
making Clark a critical part of the league's financial health. The WNBA playoffs have seen a sharp drop in viewership, down 50% compared to when Caitlyn Clark was actively participating. The ratings for Clark's 2 playoff games were far higher than the subsequent matchups.
Good screen on me, and I actually popped my eardrum, ruptured my eardrum just on a screen.
Proving her immense impact on the league's audience. The first game between the Aces and Liberty, a rematch of last year's WNBA Finals featuring 2 of the league's premier teams, drew only 929,000 viewers, down 50% from Clark's games according to ESPN. The WNBA's handling of Caitlyn Clark has been widely criticized, with many suggesting that the league has fumbled the bag by failing to capitalize on her star power.
The most dominant team in the league, they can't draw 500,000 viewers for a playoff game.
Those guys, they're the racists when really y'all are the racists. The people coming up with excuses to hate Caitlyn Clark and the new fan base that she brought.
Imagine having the most watched playoff game in WNBA history one week, and the next viewership drops by 50%. What happened? Well, it turns out, without Caitlyn Clark, the WNBA just isn't pulling the same numbers. But is she really the reason why fans are tuning out?
Now that Clark is out of the playoffs, largely due to cheap shots and a less competitive team, she is reportedly considering playing in Europe, leaving the WNBA scrambling to recover.
The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane for the first time in their league history.
The venues that were once packed during her games are now half empty, and the financial gains that Clark brought have started to dry up. Despite the massive success she's brought to the WNBA, Caitlyn Clark has reportedly been considering a move to Europe. This decision comes in the wake of more lucrative contract offers from top European teams, who are willing to pay significantly more than what Clark currently earns in the WNBA. While the WNBA has increased salaries in recent years, it still pales in comparison to the contracts offered by European clubs, which can be worth millions. The news of Clark potentially leaving for Europe has sent shockwaves through the WNBA and its fan base. ESPN analysts have pointed out that losing Clark, even temporarily, could be disastrous for the league's momentum.
Now that Indiana is out and Caitlyn Clark is out. So it's not a good thing for the WNBA. Ratings will go way down. If you're going to get serious ratings and serious numbers and serious improvement, become a serious league. And you do that by suspending someone who does that, especially after what she put online in regards to Caitlyn Clark. You can't allow that to happen. You put your finger through someone's eye.
Without her presence, both TV ratings and attendance could plummet, making it harder for the league to maintain its recent growth. According to ESPN's report, the WNBA's growth in recent years has been largely driven by star power, and no player has been more crucial to that growth than Caitlyn Clark.
When you talk about leading this show, no, it ain't the media. What happens is the people have been speaking about it all weekend long. So we're paying attention to what the people are talking about. That's what makes us determine what we want to talk about. If somebody is talking about something else far more than this incident, we would have led with that. We led with this because that's what everybody has been talking about.
Analysts on First Take even went so far as to say that Clark is the face of the league, with her departure potentially leading to a major financial setback.
as considered the marketing savior for the sport.
So many people were also painting her out to be the problem. She could never do enough. She could never speak out enough.
As one analyst put it, if Caitlyn Clark leaves for Europe, the WNBA will struggle to maintain the momentum it built in 2024. She's that important. ESPN's report makes it clear. Caitlyn Clark's return to the WNBA is critical for the league's financial future. The WNBA has historically struggled with fan engagement and visibility compared to men's leagues like the NBA and NFL.
Everything above board. It doesn't matter what Nylisa Smith does. She can go out and mock our meal ticket, the best player in the league, the person that's making us all rich.
But with Clark's arrival, there was finally a player who could consistently draw national attention. Her return would not only stabilize the league's current growth, but also set the stage for future expansion. Without Clark, the WNBA risks losing its biggest draw. ESPN's projections indicate that attendance could drop by as much as 30% without Clark's presence, and TV ratings could take a similar hit. This potential loss of viewers and revenue could make it challenging for the league to secure lucrative media rights deals and sponsorships in the coming years. Clark's economic impact extends beyond the WNBA's current bottom line. ESPN's report emphasizes that her return could also influence the league's ability to attract younger fans, increase grassroots basketball participation, and elevate the WNBA's visibility in mainstream sports media. With ESPN planning future broadcasts centered around Clark's potential return, her presence could be the key to long-term stability. Moreover, analysts believe that Clark's return could inspire other young stars to choose the WNBA over Europe, setting a precedent for future generations. Her ability to draw crowds, attract sponsorships, and sell merchandise makes her the perfect candidate for the league to build around. The WNBA faces a critical decision. How far are they willing to go to retain Caitlyn Clark? With ESPN emphasizing her economic importance, the league may need to consider innovative solutions to keep her from leaving for Europe. This could mean offering higher salaries, increased revenue-sharing options, or even ownership stakes, measures that have been used in other professional leagues to retain top talent. An analyst on Around the Horn suggested that the WNBA might even need to collaborate with corporate sponsors to create a more lucrative package for Clark. If they don't make her an offer that's hard to refuse, the WNBA will lose its most valuable asset, one commentator said. This highlights just how much pressure there is on the league to keep Clark stateside. The WNBA has taken strides in recent years to improve players' salaries and conditions, but as ESPN's report makes clear, there's still a long way to go. Caitlyn Clark's potential move to Europe serves as a reminder of the financial disparities that continue to exist in women's basketball. If the WNBA wants to compete on a global scale and keep top players like Clark, they'll need to find ways to offer competitive compensation. ESPN's Bombshell report has made one thing clear. Caitlyn Clark's impact on the WNBA is monumental.
Years ago, their home attendance was 1,800 fans. Their average this year, home attendance, is 17,000. That's almost 10 times. And, of course, the big difference is Caitlyn Clark.
And the league's future success could depend on her return. She's not just a player, she's a financial powerhouse who has redefined the league's marketability and fan engagement. As the WNBA faces growing competition from European leagues, keeping Clark on U.S. soil is more than just a basketball decision. It's an economic imperative. Will the WNBA make the necessary moves to bring Clark back from Europe? Or will they let one of the most transformative talents in basketball slip through their fingers? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. Caitlyn Clark's return could be the difference between growth and stagnation for the WNBA. Wonder what WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert is thinking about these rumors. Check out this next video to hear her thoughts and reaction to Clark's exit.